Society. I was asked, what's the problem with it? We have the most stability. Most people have nothing to worry about. At least in first world countries. I'm not here to talk about third world countries. At least not today. Anyways, we have the most stability. Most people have nothing to worry about. We don't really have to fear death. Or worst case scenario, we had to bum off a friend because we're broke. We don't have to take any risks in life, etc., etc. So what can possibly be the problem? Oh, you just heard the problem. Stability. Think about it. Let's say you're some fat dude living with his mom, can't get a girlfriend, judging a little experience you have anyway. What do you do when you feel like you need a girl? What do you do if your mom won't buy you the latest game? At least hopefully. You find someone to work for. This applies to even when you have horrible circumstances too. There's some guy hanging out on your friend's couch with all your possessions in your backpack. Your parents kicked you out. They think you are garbage. Guess what? You're still in blame 90% of the time. Why? Because when you can't solve your problem the conventional way, you kind of give up in a way. Not necessarily, but hear me out. Instead of completely giving up, you'd probably complain to your friends about how unfair society is. I need to change some laws. There is prejudice and bias and unfairness all around. You are right. They even go a step up and go to protests. They would try to increase the minimum wage. Yeah. Still at fault. Why? Because you are conditioned in such an easy environment. You know how to think creatively ever. Pretty much everything in the world has been figured out already, so I just gotta follow what so-and-so is doing. Yeah, but I'm doing so much better than so-and-so. Way better than so-and-so. What do you mean? I did great in school. And right about now, what are you doing? Are you a student, perhaps? Why aren't you doing anything then? Oh, I mean working at the mall for a minimum wage, or for your order working for that corporation, or even becoming a doctor. Of course, the world needs those people. But the world doesn't need you. You can't make it need you. But you can make something the world needs. But you haven't. Why? Because you had everything you needed without being backed into a corner, having to use your imagination. And that's the flaw of society. Do you know what industry I respect the most? The entertainment industry. Why? Because for the most part, it involves creating stuff and talent. If people don't like it, you are a failure. If you slip up morally, you don't even deserve the right to exist. You have to be cunning, better than everybody, or, better yet, something completely different to earn the right to make a living off it. Pretty much the highest risk and reward industry. It isn't about the thrill though. There's no path you can follow to guarantee your success. Even the right one to maintain it once you get out there. That is the floor I love to dance on. I remember when I was 4, I was asked what I wanted to be. I was pretty intelligent. I was able to skip 3rd grade. Not a genius or anything, but capable. So maybe a good doctor or lawyer, right? I said I wanted to be a comedian. Of course, my parents hated that idea, so I shelved it for such a very long time. I mean, why wouldn't they hate it? They had to work hard to get out of poverty from their homes, and even an awful civil war on my dad's side. So why would they ever want to even think about risk? We can live a decent life risk-free. I mean, they are kinda right. And if you couldn't tell, I'm obviously not a comedian right now. But industry of imagination is so much fun. You know the feeling when you can make a room laugh, or even just some friends, or maybe a girl, or who knows your experience. Anyways, the jumping from one joke to another, thinking fast, hoping they think your jokes are funny, laying a back joke, going quickly to fix the joke when they haven't even noticed your slip up. It's so exhilarating and scary. It feels like you're jumping from one hot cool to the next, but I have that feeling again. Tell me, what are you doing? You're watching this on YouTube. It's quick, easy entertainment. That's amazing, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But I don't like the idea of you watching me. In fact, make sure you dislike, unsubscribe, and never hit the notification bell. Today's opposite day, by the way. Yeah, you should.
Hamza.
Anyways, the world needs more creators, so give the world something useful. Hope to see you around here.